Do you struggle to kick certain impulsive behaviors or addictions you may have? Whether they're bad habits of how do you relate to people, or it's a substance abuse or pornography, it's a struggle to get rid of these things, and it's a struggle to fight them, but man, do they damage your way of life. It may not be about willpower. It may be about other things in your life. And in this video, we're going to talk through the HALT acronym to talk about how your physical being and your physical space may be affecting your ability to fight these behaviors, habits, or even addictions that you may have. My name is Tyler Klein, and I operate a Catholic mental health practice called Archangel Catholic. And I want to make sure you have the tools, frameworks, and mindsets you need to have a strong mental health game and to make sure that you can pursue holiness and sainthood and have a happy, free life. Now, the first letter of the HALT acronym is H, and H stands for hungry. It's pretty obvious. Most of us know that if you don't eat food, you get hangry. That's not a mystery. But what we struggle with is the kind of food and its nutrition. I'm not going to go into different diets and philosophies around that. I don't care if you're carnivore or keto or plant-based. Having some control over the kind of food comes in is instantly going to level you up in what you're putting in your body than if you just eat what's easy and around you. The wrong, nutritionally lacking foods, processed foods, unhealthy things, sweets, that stuff doesn't give your body what it needs. It may satiate for a time because there's calories, but there's no nutrients. And when it comes to your ability to fight off bad moods, bad habits, bad desires, addictions, you become emotionally vulnerable when you lack those things. It's like having a Lamborghini and you're putting in unleaded fuel instead of premium. I don't own a Lamborghini, but I'm assuming they don't run off normal unleaded fuel. It might run for a little bit because it's gas, but it's gonna get gunky. It needs premium for a reason, and you need premium fuel as a human being. So take note of the kinds of foods you're eating. What are you starting your day with? Are you getting nutritionally dense plants, fruits, grains, things that are going to give you what you need to flourish? So the first thing is H for hungry. Not only do you want to eat food, you want to eat good food. And that'll give your body the fuel it needs to be less emotionally vulnerable and to resist and fight certain temptations and to give you some more energy against certain addictions. A stands for anger. Are you angry? Now, it's kind of weird because anger could be one of the consequences of not thinking about the HALT acronym of being hungry, for example, but it also can just play into other things. So if you are angry, you have less clarity in your thoughts and you have more drive towards irrational things. Anger, though it's a tool God gave us, anger is an important emotion we have. Anger unregulated or misunderstood makes you emotionally vulnerable to other temptations and addictions. So when you're sitting in something, you're sitting in a temptation or an addiction, whether it's drinking or pornography or some other impulse you have, think, am I angry right now? And turn your focus to your anger and trying to subside that and trying to manage that and cope with your anger than trying to cope with your temptation, because you're going to realize that it's making it a lot harder to resist whatever is a struggle for you when you're angry. Make that your focus. And have grace on yourself. When you realize I'm really struggling to say no to something, but I'm angry because something happened in my life and I've been unable to manage that and it's causing frustration, recognize it's going to be harder and just turn your focus patiently to managing the anger, the frustration, or whatever it may be that's distracting you. So for HALT, we have hungry, I almost said hangry, hunger, anger. Those two things, think about those and the way they're going to affect your relationship with different addictions. Okay, we're going to go to the next one now, L. L stands for lonely. If you're lonely, you become more detached from the people around you. And there's a lot of consequences here. If you've pulled back from people and you're not connecting with them, you're going to feel like you need to make up ground to become important. There's a lot of things that we get, a lot of kinds of satisfaction that our community gives us, that then we'll try to fill that gap with things. And it'll make it harder because of that gap in our lives to fight off the addictions, temptations, impulses that we have around us. If you're lonely, and that doesn't have to mean just by yourself. You've heard the phrase lonely in a crowded room. You could be going out and being with people as a distraction from something interior. That's the same kind of loneliness. Solitude is one thing, community is one thing, but lonely can exist both by yourself and with others. If you are lonely, you're going to be emotionally vulnerable because you're going to try to fill the hole that's left from your community. Plus, if you're around good people, you want to rise to them. It gives you a sense of support and a sense of growth because you want to be more like them if they're doing good things. You don't have to be around perfect people, but it's going to help make things easier. So when you're struggling to fight a temptation in your life, an impulse and addiction, think about, are you lonely, and are you lonely frequently? Are you hungry frequently? Are you eating the right foods? Are you angry? Are you lonely? These things are going to make the consequences and the temptations of an addiction much, much harder to manage. So L stands for lonely. The last letter of the HALT acronym is T, and it stands for tired. People need to sleep, and they need to rest, even if they're awake. First of all, it's a myth that you don't need much sleep. It's a myth that I can get by in 4 hours of sleep, I'm a high achiever. That is a lie. And people who say that's the case either aren't achieving what they could, or they're carefully cultivating a perception that's not true. People need sleep. There's a lot of reasons to think about it and a lot of ways to go about it, but at the end of the day, you need to get good quality sleep, and a lot of it. Don't be afraid to take naps. Yeah, you can nap too much, right? There is something there, but for the most part, don't be afraid. Take a nap if you need it. Get as much sleep at night as you can. Give yourself 8 hours if possible to be asleep, not just fall asleep, but be asleep. Give yourself that. Now, there's also burnout, overexertion, or just not pacing yourself. That's a different kind of tired. Same thing. Rest. Give yourself breaks. Allow yourself time to do something that's not productive. Give yourself the time to go for a walk in the middle of the workday, just to give your mind space to decompress. If you are tired, you're going to struggle so much more against any temptation or to pursue any virtue, especially if you have an addiction, an impulsive behavior, some kind of bad habit. So think about the fact, am I tired? That makes up our HALT acronym, HALT, tired. Take care of yourself, get sleep, and rest. To bring this together, the HALT acronym is a way to fight, or rather manage, addictions, bad behaviors, impulsive behaviors. It stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Those 4 states of our person, of our physiology, it's just our physical self, those 4 states are going to affect your ability to resist and fight temptation and may make you more susceptible and make them worse. There's a lot of things that can affect this. You may have a lot of problems in your life. If you do, we have a video about how to categorize the problems you need to work on and how to manage them so you can focus and start making life a little easier. I'll put a card here for that. Learn how to attack these problems. That's going to affect things. And then journal. Take a journal, or write HALT, and try to write a time or a tally how often you are affected by these things. It only takes one. Maybe you're great on hunger, on anger and loneliness, but you're just not getting a lot of sleep. Make sure you understand that. Tally that. Get some sort of record for yourself for how things are going. And you may look and realize there's a lot going against you. You're going uphill when you're fighting these things and trying to fight an impulsive behavior or an addiction. Instead, flip the odds in your favor. Take care of these. Address the HALT acronym, and that'll do a lot when it comes to fighting your addiction. At Archangel Catholic, we know that your mental health and healing from mental illness is a critical component of you becoming a saint and pursuing God with freedom. God wants you to be healed. God will give you crosses, and He'll give you ways to bear those. I'm not saying there won't ever be a cross in the form of mental illness, but most of the time, God's going to want to heal you, and it's going to give you the freedom back to pursue Him, give you the agency to become a saint the way He designed you to be. Find a Catholic therapist in your area. Reach out to us. Find a way to talk to somebody and get the support you need if some of the things we talk about on this channel are not moving the needle enough. You may need more full support. Please give us a like and subscribe. It helps a lot. It helps us know what videos are helpful and to keep getting this out to other people who need help with mental illness. You were meant to be a saint. You were meant to be fully alive, and that means you were meant to have a mentally clear life so you can pursue God happily with freedom. Thank you for watching.